is up, guys, and welcome to the VisualWood podcast, episode 61. I'm here joined by the beautiful, the elegant Matt Visual.
Wow, you just tossed that in there before I can even do anything, huh?
He was not ready for that, guys.
I was not ready for that. I was not. Well, there you go. There you go. I guess you will be the host.
Wow.
For this VisualWood podcast.
Does that mean I get to? Does that mean I get to have another guest? Because you're not ready today.
Oh. So you want to replace me that quickly?
Oh yeah, man. Come on, look, it's Hearthorn's hype time. Got to get the ball rolling. Got to get them collabs
So if I was
going.
a king and you're my homeboy, and I was like, you know what? You take the reins while I go, fight this war. By the time I come back, you're gonna have my wife. You know, like you're just gonna take over the kingdom, huh?
She would be impregnated, and your children would, let's just say, not be in the picture anymore. It's the start of a fairy tale, really. You know, those children then grow up to be princes and princesses that overthrow me as the evil, tyrannical king. But then they don't know anything about being kings and queens, and then the kingdom falls to despair. And that's why the sequel happens.
Right.
See? This is how stories are made. How are you doing today, Matt?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
This cough is starting to worry me, dude. I haven't really sat down and talked to you about it, but I have had this for a while now, and I'm a little concerned.
The dangerous cough that turns into something deadly.
You know, I heard last night actually, and I've never had this or any problems like running or doing anything physical, but I am starting to entertain the idea it could be asthma. Like, I had it really bad the other day, and I couldn't talk for a little while, and everyone was like, oh, that sounds asthmatic. And I don't know, do you think you can get that as an adult? Do you think that can just sweep in? I've heard about stuff like 7-year asthma, where you only get asthma, once every 7 years, and maybe only for a week, and then it goes away forevermore. Like, there's loads of different versions of it. And I wonder, dude.
Whoa.
I wonder.
Whoa. The stranger things have happened, but... Wow, you're gonna be in the middle of a video and then you're just gonna be like, hold on, guys.
Hold on. Yeah, get the puffer, yeah. Oh my god, dude. I do not like the mental image of me being a person with asthma. I'm pretty sure it's not asthma, but still, it's weird. It's it's
wait a minute. So you're balding, right?
Oh,
you have glasses, right? You're gonna get asthma now. All you need is a shirt with a pen protector. Is that what they call it?
With a pen protector. Oh my god, dude.
And you're good. You're good to go.
People's mental image of me must be the nerdiest guy, and I would sorely disappoint. I'm saying you right there.
All those pizza stains all over your shirt.
Oh yeah, Matt's probably more on the ball. He understands the chubbiness and the grime and the filth that I sit around in all day, every day.
Right, the mountains and mountains of liquor bottles all over the floor.
Oh my god, yeah, I did have clean liquor bottles the other day.
I remember you say I need to get up and go do something, and all I heard was just bottles just crashing on the floor. I'm like, wow, and they sound empty too. So
yeah,
wow.
They were empty. It's from over Christmas and stuff. And that's an answer.
Christmas is still going, huh?
Sure. Yeah, why not? I'm really not a very big drinker, but fine. So it's been pretty good. It's been a busy week for both of us, hasn't it? Really?
Yeah, a lot of Guild Wars too.
Yeah, and other games too, and that's what I quite like though, that we've managed to be doing this.
Monstrum.
Yeah. Oh, we have answers, or I have answers actually this week for what have you been playing. So that'll be fun when we get there. But I am pretty proud of us actually for being able to. We haven't dropped any balls or anything, right? We're still chugging away at it, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I missed one day. I also saw a comment on one of your videos where someone said, Matt, you need to teach WP a little something about diligence. And I was like, what? I was angered by that comment. It had one thumb. I was like, thumb down.
Comment. I'm like, listen, WP gets shouted out through the rooftops on Reddit. Okay?
No, it's because I missed a day. I missed one video one day. And I think on that day... Then the following day, you put up yours before mine, so it looks like you were 2 videos up on me for a period of 3 or 4 hours. Oh. I think he left the comment at that point, and it's cool to see, being able to tune in each day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I was like, damn, yeah, it was actually one of those crystallizing moments where I'm like, yeah, diligence. That's really something I need back in my life. That's such an important thing. Have you heard about the idea of And this goes to everyone, no matter what your goals are, right? I might have talked about this once before, but the idea that some people will sit around waiting for motivation to do stuff, and they're like, oh, I don't have the motivation. I'm one of these people. I hold my hands up. I do it all the time. Don't have the motivation. And like, basically the idea is you should never, ever, ever, ever in your life rely on doing things only when you're motivated. And the more important thing to train yourself is to be disciplined. And with discipline, you can rely on always being productive, always having stuff going. Motivation is useless to a person. Instead, you just need to be disciplined and diligent. And it got me thinking about that. I was like, damn. Okay, there might be an element of truth to this. Anyway, yeah. So we had a lot of stuff last week that went on the pod,
right?
That
including
we can
the
now
text.
talk about. Yeah. So let's start. This is what's at the start of the doc. Did you text the guy back?
No.
Or what have you chosen? So what was the story last week? Do you want to recap in case people missed it?
All right. So I got a text before the pod, before we started recording. They sent me their email. It's from a 4-digit number, and it says, "Damn, I need you bad." Right? And I was just like, okay, what do you guys want me to text him back, or her back? And then some of you guys just says, "Daddy is here for you." Another person said, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
With a winky face.
With a winky face.
Mm-hmm.
And then one says, "Soon we'll become one."
I think all of these need winky faces, actually.
Yeah.
I think the message doesn't work without the winky face.
"I need you too, muffin cup." Was another one. So I'm gonna choose, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
You're gonna go, "Do you want to build a snowman?"
Do you want to build a snowman? And I'm gonna do the smiley face. Okay.
Oh my god. What do you think? So wait, what is actually gonna happen? Because people were talking about how it was basically like
spam.
Yeah, it's just this common thing. So I doubt you'll get a response, right?
All right, it's sent.
Oh my god, really? That just happened. Why didn't you have the sound on your phone so we hear the like ding?
I don't think it has that. I turned that stuff
message
off because I hate hearing all those sounds every time you press a button. It's like bing, bing,
but
bing,
it's
bing,
so
bing,
high
bing.
tech. It makes you remember that you're in the future.
Right.
Think about the guys on Star Trek with their scanners and stuff. They were always making beeping noises. You know?
Yeah. Beep boop 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 beep.
Yeah.
Beep boop.
Exactly. That's why my phone has all the bells and whistles and all these flashing lights and stuff on it. In fact, I'd love like a phone cover or something like that turns it into like one of these Star Trek devices, except it's incredibly more powerful than you could hope for. Anyway, so yeah, that was one thing. In addition to that,
right.
The whole Facebook thing happened with me. We got this lovely comment. WP, and I just want to clarify something for people. WP, you will probably find that Facebook page was a fake Facebook page in order to get you to type your password, which it records. You'd better change your passwords as soon as possible on the official sites, not those accessed via links from messages and emails. No. That's not how that isn't what happened. It was an official email from Facebook. We all know Facebook likes to email people, and it took me to the real Facebook website. Don't worry, it was Facebook, guys.
It wasn't
was
missing an M or something.
No. Did you hear about the it's like there was a version of PayPal that was almost completely indistinguishable from actual PayPal because they used like, I think it was PayPie. It was like a capital I at the end instead of an L in the PayPal or something.
Oh no!
And it was a really, really good, strong scam site for a while. I'm sure it's not in action anymore, but that was a huge thing for a while. No, the whole Facebook thing, absolutely not. I'm not being like fished. I'm not. I haven't. And even if I did, honestly, the password for that thing was like such a crappy old password. I think the only other thing I use that for is like my Domino's account when I order pizza in. And I mean, if people want to hack that and find my frequent orders and, you know, when I get free Ben and Jerry's and stuff for being a loyal customer or something, then sure, you can hack into that, but I'm not too concerned.
Hold up, you're a loyal customer to Domino's.
No, I'm not. No, it's just one time.
And you get free ice cream.
No, I told you about this on the pod.
You ordered that much.
Dude, what the hell?
Dude.
I have like one pizza a month.
Dude,
that's it. Sometimes I go a bit over, all right. Sometimes I do maybe have 2, maybe even 3 pizzas in a month. Fine.
I wonder why you have a standing desk. Trying to burn those extra 500 calories a day, huh?
It's because of all the pizza boxes around the actual desk.
Right.
Yeah. I don't actually have a mouse mat. I just have a pizza box.
Boxes and liquor bottles as your standing desk right now, aren't you? That's what's happening.
Yeah, it's just a stack of pizza boxes.
That's what...
I haven't eaten much pizza lately, though. You can applaud me for that, right?
Right, and then you send me pictures of this absurd, like, stuff
Look,
that you eat.
That's not food I'm eating. That's food I want to eat that other people have made on...
Right, like
bad
the fries
and
and all that type of stuff with like pizza sauce and all that craziness.
Barbecue sauce, ranch dressing, grease, cheese, fry.
I can just imagine you have a deep fryer in your room.
By the computer, yeah.
Just deep frying everything.
Dude, the dream is to have a mini fridge on the left, deep fat fryer on the right. There you go. And you've already got like your battered like chicken and stuff in the mini fridge. You just take it out. Got a little plate in the middle. You
don't even clean it after, huh? You just leave it dirty.
Dunk it in.
You just leave it dirty. And whatever dunk in there is just like it's still in the oil. It's just like yeah. I love the flavor mixing together. It tastes better, right? Delicious. Anyways.
So yeah, I wasn't being scammed on Facebook. I appreciate the concern there, though, guys. So, what have you been playing or doing, Matt?
I've actually, other than
I'm going full on host here, aren't I?
Yeah. I've been leveling up my ranger. That's what I've been doing. Okay. Yeah. Every time I have a second, I go in and I've been trying to level up my ranger in Edge of the Mist and leveling up.
That's like the leveling place. Is this your first time leveling a toon in Edge?
Yeah, in Edge, yeah. Because I had everything at 80 except for the ranger. I was waiting for the Tengu, but we're not getting Tengu, so what's the point?
Oh, that's a good point. I want my rifle-wielding Tengu, damn it.
Yeah, man.
My biggest disappointment with... Well, okay, no. One is that they only vaguely talk about hardcore content. My other big disappointment with
very vaguely.
Yeah, and that's a big red flag for me. The other thing is definitely no new race, man, and I get it. It's a lot of work, fine.
You know what he said? Colin said...
We had to pick one. Enough.
We had to pick one. It's either a new profession or a new race, and he felt like it added more to the game if they picked a new profession.
I don't believe.
That's what he said. That's his quote. But I don't know. Like it's a race. Like I don't know. Like
well, no, okay. If I agree. All right. If they really did have to pick one, then I think going new class is definitely the way to go. One. It does change the game a lot more. It ripples through everything. So. You know, like you can have new comps in all 3 game types now and do all kinds of cool stuff. So that's fine. And yeah, the race, it's just a few racial skills. It doesn't actually change the game that much, except for those who are leveling and, you know, giving you that extra bit of story and stuff. But I sort of think, I don't know. It's easy to say, oh, just put them both in and delay the release. Fine. But, you know, we were already chomping at the bits for the X-Pack. I've already seen worry in the community. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm a pretty patient guy. I could wait, honestly, and I might get some slack for this from people being like, wow, this guy's completely unreasonable in how much leeway he would give ArenaNet. But I could see myself waiting like a year for Heart of Thorns. I could, as long as there was still updates and stuff going in the game. Because those updates, without even knowing the existence of Heart of Thorns, has been enough to keep me playing Guild Wars 2. So why couldn't I wait a year? Do you know what I mean? Like,
no.
So... And I know. I'm not saying I want it to be a year away. I'm just saying, like... There's some serious leeway for me, and I'm like, you know what, if it takes you an extra month to have that race in there, you know, a month of hardcore everyone at the company doing, you know, stuff for the Tengu, I would say do it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't actually be pushing for the early release date, but I can already see bubbling out there in the community, you know, you can already see it, a lot of people saying, oh, I hope it's just 6 weeks away, and it's like, no, my friend.
It's not. It's going to be in beta.
It's never going to happen.
Yeah. I think it's going to come out this year. Just like last time, where like they had the beta earlier in the year, and then they released it later on. I think they're gonna do the same thing here.
I watched one of your videos and you linked to an interview that you'd seen.
Right.
And I thought one of the quotes that Mike O'Brien had to say was really interesting. It was, "Hey, why didn't you guys announce a release date?" was the question, and he said, "Well, of course." How can we announce a release date when we haven't beta tested yet. And of course, the beta is the thing that decides whether the product is ready or not. And in theory, I really like that comment. That's like, holy wow, they're treating a beta as a beta? What? Who does this? Betas are just marketing things. They're just opportunities for people to get early access. But, and so, like, that sounds like a good thing to say, but I also feel like it's a bit of an excuse, you know? It's like, because it's a long way away. And I think maybe... Do you get an underlying feeling, maybe, that they actually didn't start working on Heart of Thorns until fairly recently?
Man, that would kill me. That would kill me because it's not gonna be fully fleshed out. The living world, I know a lot of people like it, but like it's too small. It's too small, and they work months on that. They work a few months on that, right? A small team, right?
Yeah, but only a small amount.
It's a small team, but I would like to think that they started working on this like more than a year ago. I would like to think that, you know, all this stuff, the scavenger hunt, the legendaries, all that stuff. I would think that they put a lot of work in detail in these, in all this stuff that they're going to release. The new map, they tested this with the QA team a lot, and they've been playing this for a while. I would like to think that. It worries me because he didn't answer it, right? He was like, "Oh, how long have you been working on it?" And he totally dodged the question, Mike.
I know, right? Like, and the thing is, just from the scope of the X-Pack, my original thought was, honestly, I thought that maybe after Flame and Frost tanked a little, maybe, or after they realized they couldn't quite find their feet, maybe that first Bazaar of the Four Winds update, that first one, maybe around them was my original prediction for when they started doing it, which would be a long time ago, well over a year ago. But now I don't know. I feel like maybe they only started working on Heart of Thorns, seriously, actually working on it, like after season 1 was over or something, you know? Like, I feel like internally maybe they're like, all right, we've just revealed Mordramoth to people. We're going to start working on Heart of Thorns now. And because you just look at all the other stuff that, I don't know, it's weird to me. It's weird to me that the scope is what it is, that it's just like, I don't know. It's hard to comment because we don't know. Yes, we're only going in the Maguma jungle. Yes, we're only going west, but these could be massive maps. They could be everywhere.
Yeah, there could be a lot more to the mastery system. There could be a lot more to a lot of the things there. That's why I don't want to judge it too quickly, but I also don't want to get too hyped to the point that I'm just so disappointed when it comes out. You know?
Yeah, I mean, all you have to, like, listen to some of the stuff I was saying just 2 weeks ago. I came out with a comment, I'd love to see, you know, the same amount of maps as we had at launch. You know, I was coming out with comments, you know, Guild Wars 2 was about fighting Zaitan, but it didn't take place just in Ore, it took place all over the place. Oh, no, that's the expansion. We're in the jungle. And I don't know. The whole 3 biomes thing, I guess, just means within a map. It doesn't necessarily mean we're only going to get 3 new environments kind of thing to explore. It's hard to judge, but it's scary, you know? And the lack of the Tengu ties into it.
Oh, does, man, because that would branch out the scope a little bit more, because they would have to make more areas, you know, away from the jungle, right? You know, spread out a little bit more, and that would be pretty cool, because, you know, like maybe the living story, or whatever you want to call it, expansion story, will be somewhere in the Tengu place as well. A lot of people were speculating, like, what if they've been holding back and the Tengu will be released with this expansion or whatever? They're just not saying anything, and they're making people, like, you know, second guess it and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's not coming. I think maybe next time we'll get a race and some new specializations, and, you know, after it's beta tested and everything like that, and they fix all the issues, because it's probably not going to be perfect when it first comes out, but it's going to be cool. And then they're going to release, like, I don't know, another specialization for each class, and then have a new race, and then maybe a new class. I don't know if they would do that now that they have, like, the full 3
I'm curious
armor,
about that as well.
The 3 armors professions for each set.
Well, see, I like the idea. Like, they've talked a lot about as well about this, about how, like, now Heart of Thorns represents them finding their feet and realizing what they want to do with the game, and, like, you can scoff at that idea since the game's out 2 years now or whatever, but it kind of means to me, maybe now that they do have such a clear goal, we've got, you know, expansion, living world, bridges to the next expansion, living world, bridges to the next expansion, this kind of thing. It could mean that the following expansions, they get more streamlined, better, they have more understanding of what they want to do, they roll into things quicker, and we could get bigger stuff. And so the idea of more classes, like, I don't know, maybe after Heart of Thorns, the X-Pack after that actually adds 3 at once, 1 to each class, you know, and then we have 4. You know, that'd be really, really cool.
Because they said they've been laying down they're going to lay down the foundation for the first go. And do you think?
Well, actually, hold on. Let me go back on what I just said. Yeah. I don't think they're going to add any more classes. Actually, I'm pretty sure they've been quite explicit.
Oh, I thought you meant specializations. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I said classes. No, I think specializations. I think they've been quite explicit. These are the classes of Guild Wars 2, and they're going to be developing that in the future with specializations and specializations only, I think. Sorry, what were you going to say?
Yeah. I totally thought that you meant specializations. Yeah, like tons of specializations will probably be the way to go, and it being able to change your character every single time. Like, oh, I don't want to play this type of guardian. I want to play the berserker guardian. I want to play the mage guardian, whatever, that holds a book, and the new weapons will be introduced. And definitely new weapons has to be in a new, like, the expansion after this. How long do you think we would have to wait for the next one? You think after this one is finished, they'll start working on the next one? Or is it going to be another 2 years before we get another expansion?
It's funny to me that, like, an X-Pack, it's like when Guild Wars 2 was announced. I remember, like, there were all these threads that popped up on GW2 Guru where people were like, oh, what about expansions? And everyone's like, what are you talking about? The game isn't even out yet. And it's like, I feel like it's like, oh yeah, Heart of Thorns. What about the next expansion? I don't know. I think I think maybe one a year could be the release. I think one every 2 years has been tried and tested and to be very effective for World of Warcraft. And they might, and there's no reason. I know that Guild Wars 2 tries to change a lot of stuff, but if something does work in the genre, and I really do think the 2 year cycle works, maybe they should just stick with it. So we have like 2 seasons of Living World between X-Packs.
I don't know.
It depends though, Matt. What you got to think about though is how much replayability there just is innate going to be in Guild Wars 2 when masteries come in and Heart of Thorns itself. Let's assume that we can't just ace HoT in the first week,
right,
which I'm terrified we're going to be able to. I'm actually terrified we're going to be able
to. Let's not.
But let's assume that we can't. Let's assume that HoT keeps us busy for 7-8 months, and there's Living World on top of that, blending into it. So maybe it stretches out even further, 10 months. Fine. Who cares if someone takes a couple of months off playing the game for a year, and then the next year they get some more Living Worlds, feature packs keep rolling in, and then another big X pack. Maybe a year and a half is the sweet spot.
A year and a half would be the sweet spot. Yeah, that's what I was think so. Say. Yeah, a year and a half would be, like just right there. Like I guess if they might have to change the way they do the Living World to kind of because you were saying like, oh, 2 seasons and then they release it. Yeah, I would think that they would have to change it up a little bit, and I'm looking to see.
I would think there's going to be more improvements to Living World as well. What I really want to see, and you see this so rarely with games being supported like GW2, I really want to see HoT come out, Guild Wars 2 get bigger, get a bigger audience, get more money rolling into it, and I want to see that turn into resources for the Living World team, and I want to see that get better quality, and then I want to see that happening, in front of our eyes, and then because the Living World is better, even more people are sticking about, and even more people are coming, and it goes and goes and goes and goes and goes, and then in
I think
6 years this game is this insane thing. They have, and I want to see that keep going.
Yeah, it's every 2 years for World of Warcraft. I was looking at it right now. September 25th.
It is, yeah.
For Mr. Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor was just November. Yeah. I was just making sure. I wanted to see like the actual time. So every 2 years, and people leave and then people come back. Except for this game, you don't have to pay a subscription fee, so it's easy just to jump right back in. But it would be really good to be able to sustain themselves with the living story. So I would like to. I don't know, season 2. Even though it was kind of like it was really easy just to jump in and get right back out. Maybe they can make it a little bit bigger. A bigger scope.
Do you think the whole gem unlock thing is still working? Because I see a lot of complaints about that at the moment.
Gem unlock thing?
Where if you don't log in while the Living World update is live, you have to pay gems to play Living World.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, all you gotta do is log in. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I don't really sympathize with anyone out there who says, oh, Living World sucks, I'm not going to play Guild Wars 2 because I have to pay for the update. It's like, well, no, just install the game and actually play the game, and there you go, you get this stuff for free. So I don't sympathize with them, but I do a bit with the guys that, honestly, like, the game's just not been on their radar. You know, they played it, there was nothing at launch, you know. Then they didn't want to grind for a legendary. There was so little. So they just left, you know, and that was ages ago. And now it's 2015 and they've heard about some stuff and they want to come back in and they're curious about the story, they want to play some of the stuff, and then they see that it's just all gated off by loads of gems. And yeah, I don't know, I think it would be very, very smart for ArenaNet in the next couple of weeks, the sooner the better preferably, to announce some kind of bulk deal special on Living World Season 2.
Just bundle
just the
that
whole
thing. Bundle that
Yeah, I think that'd be really, really smart because like you browse like our MMO or MMORPG on Reddit and stuff, and you see Guild Wars 2 is constantly coming up in these now. Like people are constantly saying, "Hey, should I get the game? Should I do the?" And like nearly every time when you read it, the cons are. The story's going to pick up with a bunch of stuff you can't actually play unless you spend all this extra money. And for a lot of people, they say, so I don't think you should get the game. Like, and that's a thing, you know? And when you're a prospective buyer, you read something like that, you don't know how severe something like that is, and you might stop. Now, what is it? It's only like 30 gold. Jesus, 30 gold is not hard to get.
Some people are very misinformed. They hear some big YouTuber talk about it, and they automatically just suck it up. You know, and then you get a lot of those comments, especially on the bigger videos. You see a lot of people who are just checking out the game, and they comment stupid comments, like let's call it really stupid, misinformed comments. And it's just like no, it's really not that hard to get into, and the way they did it, you can just jump in, play it whenever. Some people think that they're actually missing the story, and they won't be able to play and stuff like that. Oh, it's too hard. I already missed the initial run. There's no point. But I think definitely bundling it all up and then let it be known that as soon as you jump in, you can get all the living story for season 2. Real nice. And they haven't really talked about releasing season 1 yet. They didn't say that they would release
no one's asking this in interviews either.
Like, why don't they say, release season 1 with the X-Pack? That would be nice.
No, before the X-Pack. Come on. The perfect time is now. Release it, ArenaNet.
Well, the perfect time for SAB is now, too. What if they nail everything? What if they were working on SAB? What if they already finished up season 1? They're going to release this over the next 6 weeks or 5 weeks now. Before the beta comes out, so people can play and catch up, and some buzz can be around the game. What if they nail all this? Because that's what they should do. But they would have to been working on this for a while. If they nail this could be really strong.
Yeah. SAB would be like perfect for just before Heart of Thorns release. I can imagine like a celebration 2-week in-game special event with the return of SAB. But I heard at the after party, and this is one of those hearsay things, so I don't know whether it's confirmed or not, but apparently they were asked about SAB, and I think Colin specifically was asked, and he said it could come back, but there would be no World 3. Apparently, at the after party, this was something that was said. Now, that could be Chinese whispers, totally out of context, whatever, but yeah. What?
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Wow, you can hear it, guys. You can hear it. Listen to that. What we just had was a mini little hype train there. It was Matt saying, oh, what if they nail it all? What if they nail it all? What if they nail it all? And then, oh, they didn't nail it.
Yeah, everything can't be perfect. Everything can't be perfect, So,
Feature pack, Living World Season 1.
A lot of people say they really liked SAB, but a lot of people didn't like it when it was out. So I wonder how many people will play it when it actually comes out. Like, I'm a guy who's like devoted. Like, I'm down for SAB. But there's some people who just really complained about it. It's too hard for them or blah, blah. And they didn't like it much.
I hate people who complain about free updates for stuff. I really do. It's like, okay, fine, then just don't play it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you with this free stuff I gave you. I mean, seriously, the entitlement just, it sickens me.
In certain conversations, sure, but when you're talking about like when someone really likes the game and they want more to do, then they're gonna complain.
Yeah,
they're gonna complain. Maybe not the way some people do. Maybe it's a little bit too much. A little too much there, but
and there's always a place for criticism.
Absolutely. And now with this X-Pack, a lot of people are excited. The hype has died down a bit now, but people are still excited. People are going to be looking at it. Hopefully some good news comes out. Hopefully they do nail it. Hopefully, you know, Colin's just trolling, and there will be a World 3. Hopefully, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else have we been playing?
So, on my channel, you finally are back. You're back on my channel. You know, it's funny.
You mean? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm saying to people, oh, hey, we're doing Monstrum while I prepare for Final Fantasy X-2. I've done no preparation for that game at all. We need to sit down, dude, and just, like, marathon it one day, if we can take the time, so that I can just have all of it there and roll it out slowly, because I need, like, it's currently not serving its purpose. It's just, it's a fun game. Anyway, so we're playing Monstrum. That's not a convo for the pod.
right. It's weird because the conversations that we have on the pod is always like kind of like our regular conversation, so it's easy just to fall into just having a regular conversation on the podcast.
So yeah, Monstrum. All right, it's a horror game. I was a little bit scared that it might be bad, but they super nailed it. Okay, the thing about horror that always ends up sucking, and Matt and I have discussed this before, is especially with games. There's a reason many horror games are very short. It's because as soon as it becomes predictable, it's not scary anymore. Well, you can only run away from the guys in Outlast so many times. You can only run away from the things in Amnesia so many times. They have to have a certain length because of the predictability, because they can't change radically. But the thing about Monstrum that is so cool is it is procedurally generated. The idea is you're on a giant ship, you don't know why you're there, all you know is you need to get off. And littered about the ship are various ways you might be able to escape. You might find a life raft, you might find a helicopter, you might find a submarine, could even be more stuff. But then you're going to need, if you find these things, you're going to need items from within the decks of the ship, and to power things to be able to actually get your way off. However, you're not alone, and so it's very roguelike, I guess. Well, sort of. That's what they call it. It's a permadeath game. We should just say it's a permadeath game, okay? So like, you get no saves, you get no retries, nothing like that. So it's pretty intense. I believe that's a huge factor for horror games. In one long run, one sitting, you need to be able to get all this stuff and get off the boat. And my God, it is terrifying. Every time you replay, you don't know what monsters are where, you don't know what you're going to find, you don't know what's through the doorways. We haven't played it a super amount, but from what I can see, the game does not become predictable, like, very much, if at all. And that's so exciting. Dude, I'm so scared while I play that game, you know?
Right.
Like, so tense.
That stupid thing that would just come out in random times. It's not like when I was playing Alien Isolation, you could kind of figure out, okay, the alien will come out this vent. It will come out this vent. It was still scary, maybe a little bit frustrating, but you knew like the alien would come out of this vent in this corner, and you kind of knew that would happen. Yeah. With this one, it feels like it just appears out of nowhere.
Well, so far. Did you know what really excites me though, Matt? It's like, next time I sit down and play that with you, and by the time the pod goes up, people might have seen more videos of this, right? Next time I sit down and play this with you, I am not going to go anywhere near that, like, cargo hold place. Do you know how scared I'm going to be the next time we go into that thing where something clearly ripped its way through? That's going to be terrifying. The next time we see one of those weird things randomly appear on a wall, next time we see cameras, dude, it's like, it's scarier the next time through, because maybe it's not random, and I believe it isn't actually random. Apparently there's a lot of stuff in the game about sound and stuff. Like, you know how you can turn a TV on? Like, if you turn the TV on, you can leave it on and run off, and maybe a monster will go to it, and you can bait stuff away and things. Apparently that's, like, a big part of the game. But that's cool to me, you know? Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in it, apparently. I'm trying to not spoil myself on it, though.
Would you keep looking up more and more stuff?
I know, because it's a great game. I'm really, really enjoying the game.
We gotta actually get off the island, though. I mean, not the island, wow.
To the island.
We gotta get off the boats.
Monstrum 2, the island. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's the Lost simulation.
And on your channel, we've been playing a little bit more Mr. Mosquito as well.
Yeah. We made a little bit of return to it to get the mama. Yeah. Lots
apparently,
of
did you read that comment? Someone said they said that they're looking forward to. We have to do a part 3 apparently, because there's something like ridiculous in the next stage or something.
Ooh.
Which I'm kind of curious to see.
No, I'm curious.
Even if we don't make a video of it, dude, I want to play some PS2 with you.
Oh, live stream maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Oh yeah. There's no reason.
We could just totally finish it during the live stream.
Oh, dude, do you think that would be fun?
Yeah.
We shouldn't talk about that here, should we? People are gonna get their hopes up. That'd be cool though.
Yeah, because WP's so busy. Oh my goodness, he's so busy.
Maybe we could do that on Monday.
Oh, we could.
Yes, that's what I do. Whenever I listen, if you've ever contacted me in game, maybe I didn't respond. If it's been like a media thing,
right.
If it's been like a DM on Twitter and I don't respond, or I tell you, hey, sorry, I'm busy at the moment, it's pizza, guys. It's pizza. What I'm doing is I'm buying pizza, and then I'm actually folding them in half, so it's like a sandwich, and then I'm eating like 2 slices at once in that way.
I have eaten 2 slices at once.
I actually don't know whether I've ever done that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I was very hungry.
Oh my God.
This was a long time ago. I put some garlic, the milky garlic, all over the pizza, and then squished 2 together and just went to town. I think it becomes a calzone after that, doesn't it? Kind of.
That sounds like delicious. I'm so hungry right now.
So am I.
Oh God. Oh my God.
We're gonna die on this podcast. So, are you ready for the audio adventure? Well,
yeah. I have something to say as well.
Right. Okay.
So last week we did the audio adventure, and I hadn't reviewed it at all. If you remember, I hadn't listened to it. Do you remember? I actually exported it and rendered it and everything while we were recording the podcast. Do you remember?
Right.
And I was very concerned when I was giving it to you because I didn't know whether it was me, shouting my name out on the top of my lungs or something and whatever. So I had no idea what it was. In my mind, the whole time, I remembered waking up in the middle of the night, hearing construction work, of which there has been very loud construction work outside my house recently. Hearing construction work, recording the construction work because it was so unfathomably loud, and going back to sleep in a matter of about 20 seconds. That's the story I gave you, right?
Right.
And so you then listened, and that was what I told you. I told you that you were listening to construction work. I was wrong, Matt.
No.
That was not construction work.
You've got to be kidding me.
I was completely wrong. That was not. It was a totally different thing that I had recorded.
What was it?
Okay, so the actual audio adventure was, again, I was asleep, that's true. I did get woken up by a very loud noise, that's true. But it wasn't construction work. It was like the most ridiculous 50-second long, I guess, hailstorm of hail hitting my window furiously in gale force winds, smashing against the window, and that's what I recorded. Wow. You were listening to icy rain on the window, smashing against, and I opened the window so you could get a better sound. And so when you were saying all this stuff like, oh, it sounds like water, Weepy, what's going on?
Yeah.
You were right.
Thanks for that. Right. Thanks. You know what? You do a good job on the show. I just want.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's super professional, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But I listened back to that after the pod, and I was like, oh no, this is not what I thought it was, and it all came flooding back to me. You get the pun there, because it was totally rainy.
So this is your redemption one, all right? So
all right. Well, no, okay. So now this week, it's me again this week. And do you want to talk about why? I guess.
Well, no, I couldn't record one. So I'm going to do the next 2 weeks.
Ooh. So Matt's going to do a double whammy. But so I did this in like 2 seconds.
Okay. Yeah.
I get some of you guys really like the audio adventures. I do want to start doing better ones again. So I went downstairs. You will actually, I think for the first time ever, you're going to hear Wood and Potato's mother here. Because she was about and I was like, hey, I need to record something. So here we go. And yeah, so this is the audio adventure.
All right,
we're recording. All right, what was that, guys? What was that? Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
So
she was so unsure about it. I was like, no, that's good.
I feel so confident about this one.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. You're putting foil over some old food.
Oh, what is this? Yeah, okay, there you go.
I've done it so many times. In my life that I know that sound by heart.
This is the worst audio we've ever done.
You had a second time to redeem yourself.
Well, no, this isn't about my redemption. This is me carrying your back here. This is me.
No.
Picking up
We're
the
gonna
slack.
go with we're gonna go with you. Messing up and blah blah blah.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Okay.
Blame
Fine.
it on the potato.
Well, there you go. That was
wear
the
that
best.
on my T-shirt.
That was the breast thing we've ever done because it was turkey breast in the thing.
Oh.
So there we go. So yeah.
Was it a big breast?
Foil. Ow! Wow, that's a bit rude. Keep it PG-13, dude.
What do you mean?
Was it
strips?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I
just had I make strips because when I'm strict, I use white breast strips instead. Yeah.
Why are we talking about food
Sriracha barbecue sauce. Oh my gosh, guys! Dude. Sriracha barbecue sauce. That is the jam. Okay.
What is sriracha? Sriracha.
It's with the rooster in the front.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I just Google imaged it.
Yeah. It's a hot sauce that everyone likes. I like it on certain stuff, not on everything. I know I'm not as diehard a fan as many people are, but I do like it like on my fries and stuff like that. Like it tastes really good. But I found this barbecue sriracha sauce from Trader Joe's. It is amazing. The best sauce I have ever tasted. Ever. I put it on everything if I can. It's good. It's good stuff, man.
Sorry, I'm just like zoning out looking at thousands and thousands of images of hot sauce.
Hot sauce is the life, man. You should get into it, man. I like some Louisiana hot sauce. Is pretty tight as well.
There's a guy dressed up as one. What do you think about this? What do you think about this guy? I'm going to send you a link now.
All right. Live on the pod?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, live on the pod. Check that.
Wow,
Look at that
that's
guy.
a little bit scary.
That's quite the cosplay, isn't it?
Right. Hold up. That looks like Georgia, actually. Like right outside one of our hotels. Right outside one of our hotels.
Well, maybe it is. Maybe I'll visit the page here, which is airtech.net. Sriracha costume. We last wrote about the issue of odor pollution from the Sriracha factory in Irwindale last Halloween, but there have been developments in the story in this past week. We're all in favour of US-made hot sauce, after all. I won't have it if it won't have any lead in it, like some imported hot sauces can have. But is this factory affecting the quality of life in Irwindale, California, too much? CA is Cali, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cali.
so no, it's not. And that guy, I guess, dressed up.
All right.
Wow, so foreign hot sauce has lead in it. The more you know. There you go. You learned something on the VisualWood podcast.
Speaking about hot sauce and
oh my God,
black people liking hot sauce and Denzel Washington being black, he was also in the movie that we just watched called The Book of Eli.
The Book of Eli. So yeah, that was interesting.
You go. I cannot wait to hear what you have to say about this. Ooh, sounds bad. No.
Okay, I thought the music. All right, music was kind of weird. Some of the tracks were really, really lame, but there was also some amazing tracks. I thought the first half of the movie was really awesome. Like one of the best post-apocalyptic movies I have ever seen. The little comments about how much people just need water. It was very, very smartly thought out. Where you get to see how people interact with one another, the tensions, how aggressive people are.
They thought about gas when they were driving, stuff like that.
The fact that everyone flaunts guns around, but no one has any ammo anymore. The scenes where they're bartering with different goods because obviously currency doesn't mean anything. The whole movie really, not even just the first half, but the whole movie had all these great little things in it that really sort of tied into, hey, this is after the end of the world. This is really, really, really cool. I also had a lot of respect for the movie for not going into like, oh, it's because of nuclear war and blah, 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 blah. It left it up to your own interpretation. Also, the fights were amazing. Denzel was amazing. He's much about
good.
The first half. He's such a badass. Please,
I don't know
come on.
What,
oh my.
I wonder what goes into his training, because every fighting movie he's in, he just knows how to do it properly. Like the first scene when you see him with the machete and he goes into the darkness. Oh my gosh.
That looked like a friggin' comic book, dude. Like just the God, what's the word for it? It was an incredible scene. It was really, really awesome.
Some of the best fight scenes ever.
Yeah, it's funny. I was watching a video last week about Jackie Chan and the way that he would style his movies and how basically action is shot in Hong Kong versus action is shot in US, and the way that you never really get long shots that just let you see the impact. Like if you watch the Avengers or whatever, in a fight scene, it's cutting so much you barely get to see the impact of strikes.
Because of the CGI and stuff.
And this allows the actors to not be hitting each other properly, and it allows no one to really need too much skill. But it reduces the fun of the fight scenes. And then you could see like the way Jackie does it in a lot of his scenes, and there's steady cameras that show you the full action. You see the whole punch go through, and if there is going to be a cut, you like see the punch twice basically, but your mind connects them together. It's really, really interesting. And one thing I liked about the Book of Eli was it did action right. Think about that scene we were just talking about, Matt. This big fight scene. What was it? It was one long shot. We just saw him kick all of these people's backsides. The camera stayed steady the entire time.
Believe me, we talked about this before. Most films don't get it right, and that's why I go outside of the US for my action, and they just have long cuts of just the actor just knowing how to deliver fight scenes consistently through a long cut. It's amazing to see like Tony Jaa, in some of his movies and stuff like that, where he's just going to town on all these guys. But yeah,
well, you can have I believe you can have like fast cuts. It's just that each shot needs to contain all the elements of the strike. So like you want in the shot the guy throwing the punch, and the guy's face being hit by the fist, right? You have all three of those things in that one shot, so you see the impact, you see the recoil, you see it all, and it can be fast cuts, but as long as each individual cut has
flow within each
all
other
the elements.
As well.
It's not like in the Avengers where one cut is just like this blurred fist basically coming at the camera, and then it cuts, and you see someone recoiling because they've just been punched, and like they're cutting on the strikes instead of letting the strikes fly. Anyway, I thought action was great in this movie. I thought it was a complete badass, really likable character. I think it was just a little bit too long, to be honest, dude. And the Bible stuff didn't really get to me at all. If that's what maybe you were thinking, I'd be iffy about. I thought it was an interesting premise. I really like how they set up maybe that people of the old world maybe could have seen like maybe, there were wars against perhaps organized religion, and, this is ultimately what destroyed everyone. They're talking about how everyone was burning Bibles, and you can kind of understand in the New World, people, angry atheists saying, oh, there should be no God in the New World, this is causing people to kill one another, destroy all the Bibles, blah, blah, blah. And you kind of have that interpretation, but then you also have these desperate people in a post-apocalyptic society that need faith, and they need something to cling to, and you see why society needs the Bible and needs this to come back. And
that's
that was
exactly
really cool.
how the movie was supposed to be portrayed. Yes.
That's what I liked about
it. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted to hear. Yeah, that's what it was, and it's such a good movie because of that. The whole story kept me compelled. I don't think it was too long for me personally. I guess I don't know. Maybe I just like watching Denzel, even though was it Mila Kunis? Is there?
Yeah, Mila Kunis. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. She did a fantastic job.
And she was a badass at the end as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't really lead up to that. Well, I guess it did. When she kind of, fought back in the middle of it. But like,
well, and like the ending shot where she goes out on the road herself and takes up the mantle.
With the product placement of Beats. Yeah. So all right. We're gonna talk about the end here, guys. We're gonna talk about the end. The movie was good. It was fantastic. I'm pretty sure WP kind of ran through everything. I don't need to say anything. I enjoyed the movie. But the ending. All right, so you found out that it was the Bible that he was holding, right? So that wasn't the twist, really. It was the whole, and you kind of got the movie from that. But the twist at the end, what did you think about it? Did you know that he was blind?
No.
Because when you rewatch it, you can see that he's blind.
Really? See, that's interesting to me.
He hits into stuff sometimes. Yeah, like in the beginning where he sees the guy being hung, he doesn't know that the guy is hung there. He smells him. Then you see him touch like his feet and going all the way down, and then he gets to the shoes and he's like, yeah, and then he smiles. like when you watch it again, you obviously see that he was blind the whole time. The point where they go to see that house with the old people at that used to eat all the raiders,
the cannibals,
the raiders that will come to kill them. He says he doesn't see the sign. He didn't see the sign, even though he obviously like passed
Oh
it.
my god!
Yes, stuff like that is just riddled through the movie where he bumps into stuff and blah blah blah. You could kind of get that he was blind the whole time. It's another Shutter Island type thing. Yeah, not as crazy as Shutter Island. Shutter Island was just like riddled with so many nooks and crannies.
I like the elegance of this one though.
But like this one, you can see like Denzel. He's blind, like his eyes kind of wanders sometimes if you realize him. He's just really good at hearing footsteps and stuff, and it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Well, the one thing I did dislike a little bit is they did make him a bit superhuman. And I get the whole is it a blessing by God kind of thing, and I actually quite liked the dialogue where these essentially stupid people now, like there's no education and stuff. They see this complete badass surviving everything, and they say at one point,
he's been walking for 30 years. He's been learning for 30 years.
Dude, yeah, but there's a scene where he shoots like 2 snipers off of rooftops and takes down like 7 guys with his pistol with limited ammunition.
He's that good.
As a blind guy, no, he's a bit superhuman.
But that was the point to deliver the point. It was deliver the point that he was blind the whole time. How can this be? Remember Commissioner Gordon? How? He can't be blind. He can't be blind. You see what I'm saying? It was supposed to deliver a point. He got shot and died in the end. Like he's just a guy, but he delivered his task. After this long journey.
I get the idea.
But you got to understand, sometimes you just got to be a badass, okay? Sometimes you want to just watch some guy rip through people, okay? Sometimes you don't want to see a guy always be human. It has to depend on the movie, I think. In this one, I think it worked well.
What I guess I'm saying is I think a part of this movie was wondering, is he human? Like, what the heck? This is so ridiculous. Is he human? And seeing it from the perspective of them, is he human? Is he blessed somehow? I do think that was a big thing that they were trying to push in the movie. And I just think, and I like the idea of pushing that. I really do. But I just think they missed the mark slightly because he was so unbelievably awesome the whole
He was. I don't like the slow shots though, where they like make him walk in front of the camera and stuff. Some of them were a little bit too much. Like, nah. Okay.
Yeah, as I said, I think the film dragged
he's
a little.
Good, but don't do that. Just let him walk by. You're messing up the moment by doing those shots. Some shots I didn't really like, but most of the time it was right on the money. Because it's Denzel Washington. He's good. What can I say?
Yeah, it was a great overall. It actually wasn't the movie I was expecting it to be at all, but I really, really, really enjoyed it. It made me kind of want to play Fallout, and it was a fun.
You're right. I played Fallout right after watching that movie as well. I was just okay, I need to play this again, and then some glitches happened, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna put this down.
So I had an idea for next week's movie club.
Ooh, okay.
Straight away.
Okay.
And I've been thinking about Studio Ghibli a bit recently. It's been a while since I've watched anything really Studio Ghibli.
Really?
And I kind of want to look into some of the stuff again, but I don't want to watch some of like the mainstream things that I've already seen, like Spirited Away, like Princess Mononoke, stuff like that.
I've watched everything.
Okay, all right. Well, there's a lot of gaps for me. A lot of gaps.
Yeah?
And I kind of want to go back to the start. I want to go back to August 2nd, 1986.
Okay.
Hayao Miyazaki. The first film that they ever produced, Castle in the Sky.
Ooh,
I have no idea what it's about, but it's where they began, and I want to watch it.
I wish I was you. It's, oh my gosh, I wish I was you. Because
you like the idea?
I watched every movie they have come out with. Every single.
Have you watched When Mammy Was There, which came out really recently?
Yes, I stay consistent. I stay consistent with their movies and DC movies, the animated films. Those guys, I constantly look. I always remember every month to see if they have something new that come out, and I watch the new one. They're always good. Some of them are really weird, and I just like them. I just like the story behind them. It's kind of the feeling I get when I watch some really obscure anime, and I'm like, wow, this has a really cool story and stuff. And I actually recently tried a dating sim that actually had like a crazy story, like a regular dating sim, not the dating sim people think about dating.
Had to fool boyfriend.
Yeah, like that type of stuff. Yeah, like an actual like story behind it, and it's so interesting. Like the whole.
Are you really attracted to the character in it?
Well, like the first 2 hours of it, you don't see not one female. It's something called
really?
it's called Everlasting Summer, and it's this whole crazy story, and it has good writing. And I'm like, whoa, I just did not expect that. I was like looking up a bunch of stuff, and I like ran into it about like crazy like visual novels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this one's like free to play, on Steam. You could just like download it or whatever. It's like a visual novel, and I always wondered about visual novels, so I decided to try it, and I actually quite like it. It's actually pretty cool. But yeah. There's something strange from that visual this week. A dating sim. It's actually a really good read. Haven't finished it, but yeah. And there's like characters in it, like, oh, all right. Anyways, I feel creepy talking about dating sims. Question.
So Castle in the Sky, we're doing it, are we?
Yeah, Castle in the Sky. Absolutely.
Okay.
I would watch any of the movies over again.
All right, cool. Wow, I'm glad you're so on board. My mouse is like dying. So what's next on the dock?
Oh, okay. Question from Zapristo. Zapristo.
All right, I'm back. I'm on it now.
Oh, you see it? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Zapristo says, what was the best cheating method in your class? And you've cut something out of this comment, haven't you? But didn't he say something about like an iWatch?
Yeah, I don't know why. I get some copy and paste mess up. He said something about He said something about iWatch being too expensive.
So it's like a watch where you can,
have your notes on there. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure like professors are looking for that. But
see, we never had that really. There was a lot of stuff about mobile phones, obviously. I actually never developed any good cheating methods at all.
What's a good one is bringing a nice water bottle to class that you stripped the paper wrapping,
and on the inside.
On the inside you write what you all the answers, and then you tape it back over. Drink half the water in it so you can actually see. And just leave it on your desk.
Wow, the fact that you mentioned drinking the water makes me think you totally did do that. We weren't allowed to do that. That was always stopped straight away. You weren't allowed any water in there at all unless it was in a completely clear bottle that they had already approved of. You couldn't do it.
Oh, okay.
With like no labels or anything.
Well, here in the U.S., people don't care about that type of stuff.
Wow. Well, that was a big thing.
That's why our education is just like so amazing here.
I once wrote something on my wrist for one exam, I believe, and I got away with it, but it wasn't anything major. The best cheats I ever did was when the teacher was foolish, and these weren't proper exams and examination halls and stuff, but when the teachers were fools and they friggin' gave you a test on something, and one of the pieces of paraphernalia on the walls actually had all the answers on it. It's like, oh, you're in a science class, doing an arbitrary pop quiz about the periodic table, and there's a periodic table next to the whiteboard at the front of the class, like something like that. But yeah, I don't know.
Did you have crush on your teachers? Was that a thing for you?
A crush on my teachers?
Yeah, in like high school or middle school.
When I was in, I guess, middle school, I had a big crush on one of my teachers, but pretty much everyone had a crush on that teacher. I have no idea how old she really was. I have no idea how good she really looked or anything. But young me, she was called Mrs. Robinson.
Ooh,
Mrs. Robinson, if you're out there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Which is kind of weird because of that song, but yeah. And I guess there were some hot teachers at high school as well, but
yeah.
I guess I had more sense at that point, and there were hot girls around me as well, my own age.
Yeah.
And that took more of my attention.
We had some young teachers at my high school that all came in, and what reminded me of it was the science teacher. She was like, she was hot. and I did not focus on in class at all.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I never had that kind of, wow, I'm totally love struck by my teacher. I can't focus. My grades are slipping kind of thing. You know, that you tend to see like the Hollywood stuff. I never had that. I never really knew anyone with that either.
I don't think my grades slipped, but yeah, more than usual anyway.
Dude, yeah, oh my god. And then that's the greatest thing as well, though, because they're your teacher, so you do just get to stare, or you get to sit there and look at them for like 40 minutes.
Okay, now we're getting a little creepy, but yeah.
Well, no, that's the thing. You know, people get crushes on their teachers, then that's like, you know, that's why it's a nightmare, I guess, on one hand, and really cool on the other.
I remember a friend, she had a crush on it was this hot guy as a teacher, and man, she was just like sit there and just dream about him. I'm like, geez, calm down, girl. You need to calm that down, girl. Okay, you can't have him, and unless you want to go to jail. And someone did go to jail from my high school for sleeping with a child,
a student.
Yeah, a student. Yeah, basically a child. I mean,
there was a big scandal story recently about a guy who was like 15 and had a 3-way with two of his female teachers. One of them was like 21, one of them was like 28. And they were caught doing it in a class. Yeah. It was a huge scandal. It was this massive, massive, massive thing. And one of the biggest reasons why it escalated so far was because the guy was bragging about it on Facebook.
Oh my god.
Which can you blame him? He's a 15-year-old guy that just, you know, had a 3-way with two Oh, and the other big thing about it too was when their pictures went up, everyone was like, wow, these women are kind of hot. And then, you know, there was all the sympathy comments, you know, feeling bad for the husbands of these women and how, yeah, blah, blah, blah,
I
blah,
would,
blah, blah, blah.
Man, if I was, that's it. That girl's gone.
I know. It's actually a horrible situation. It's easy to do the South Park thing and just be like, nice. But still, it's a terrible thing.
Nice.
And, you know, if you swap the genders as well, suddenly
oh dude,
suddenly it gets really bad.
Okay, moving on from that, the
next question, okay, and the last question of this VisualWood podcast is from Control Shift Go. That's kind of a cool name, I like that. Who says, this is a bit of an odd question, but I was wondering if you guys still get views. Oh, this isn't really a fun question, but here we go. Still get views when we listen to the podcast through an app like Podcast Addict. I typically listen and download them from my phone, but if you don't receive views from that, I'd like to watch on YouTube as well. And that's a really nice sentiment. Do you want to explain how that works, Matt?
Podcast Addict. I've never heard of Podcast Addict. But we don't get view unless it's directly using the YouTube video. We don't get views from that.
No, not at all.
Not at all. Yeah. We don't get any ads on. You guys don't get any ads on SoundCloud or iTunes or anything. That's just up there for you guys. It does take away from the YouTube video a lot, but like I mean, we want it accessible to you guys, so that's what's mostly important. So yeah, but like, yeah, if you just click on the video, I guess, and I don't know if that necessarily helps me if you just like click it and then watch an ad and just go watch something else. But yeah, I guess clicking on the video to give me one view, I guess that would work. Yeah.
Aww.
But yeah, like usually, yeah, watching on YouTube is probably the best thing because, that helps with analytics of how long people have been watching the video and stuff like that. We can actually see when people have clicked off the video and stuff like that. Very and depressing stuff. Cry
inside.
Yeah. Very depressing stuff. I don't even want to say it. Yeah. Anyways, that is it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That segue into like ending is amazing. I guess we should thank everyone for coming and supporting us on the stream, right?
Oh, we can do that, but we already had a podcast after the stream, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
Oh, I guess not, actually.
This happened last week, man. It seems like years ago, didn't it, huh?
I thought the one where we were talking about Titanic and stuff, the stream had already happened.
No, it was before.
That was a couple of days before. Wow, we didn't talk about the stream at all here. Yeah, the stream was awesome, guys. It was a really, really cool day. There is... did you playlist it in the end, Matt? If you're listening to the VisualWood playlist, I think it should just roll through and you'll be able to listen to it if you like. But it was really cool. We did it for a lot more hours than we expected as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you had to run off in the end because we were like running super overtime. But it was really cool. I think you're right, yeah. to thank people for supporting us on it, because the more that came, the merrier, and it was an absolute blast.
Yeah, I mean, man, like, was it? I think it was like 50 to 70,000 people watching the stream, and then it like dipped down for the post show. But we still had like 20,000 people watching us. It was for
a long time. For ages.
Pretty cool. I mean,
it was 60K when it first swapped over to us. I remember because I went back and rewatched, and when I revealed the face cam thing, that we had 60K viewers.
And then people just like dropped off, like, look at these nerds.
Look at. We should have. I regret we should have rolled in and said, "All right, guys, stick about. There's going to be an interview with Colin and Mike very soon, but you've got us for 45 minutes." That's how I wanted to open it. We never mentioned the interview at all, and I think we lost a lot of people for that. But
I mean, it's not like the interview was any good anyway.
Oh, yeah, but we didn't know that. We didn't know that, and they didn't know that.
Oh, so, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's fine. It's fine. People are going to click off anyway because it's a post show with two nerds talking about the game.
Wow, you talk yourself down, bro.
What do you mean? What nerd is not a slur? What are you talking about? I'm proud to be a nerd.
Okay.
Nerd.
All right. Okay.
Nerd. Okay. Anyways, guys.
You're such a nerd. All right. Okay. Before the American accents bust out.
Anyways, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a great week, everyone. Boy.
Bread's done.